Hello and Happy New Year. New Year? Well, it's new to us anyway. And welcome back, UWA Elite fans, to the first card rundown for the 2024 season. I am the man of 1,000 spreadsheets, MC Hale, and here is what you can expect from our premier event for this year, Setting the Standard. It is coming your way on Saturday, March 23rd. Doors open at 6 p.m., bell time is at 6:30, and you know where we'll be, at the UWA Elite Army Base. That is the South River VFW, 31 Reed Street in South River, New Jersey. You can expect not only the high-energy, high-impact excitement of the UWA Elite that you know and love, but we've also gotten word that there might be something a little strange in the neighborhood. So who are we going to call? Well, it'll be none other than the Ghostbusters of New Jersey. They will be on hand taking pictures with all of you who I'm sure will be dressed in your ghost-busting best for this event. That's right, it is a paranormal party, so let's see what you've got up your collective sleeves for this one. No word on whether Dana will be in attendance for this one as well.
There is no Dana, only Soul.
In addition to the ghost-busting theme for this event, the Menlo Park Veterans Home will be holding a clothing drive as well at Setting the Standard, and your donations are welcome and very much needed. Due to infection control policies, all items must be new with tags. All men's and women's clothing is needed, but for a full list of what is most needed, head over to uwaelite.com. Now, while you're there at uwaelite.com, you can pick up tickets not only for Setting the Standard, but season passes are still available in both general admission and ringside flavors. Hit the website for more information and to purchase your season pass. Now, this rundown, it's going to bounce around a little bit, and that's because we're seeing the formation of new alliances, groups like the Old Guard, and other groups expanding their rosters, or headcount payroll, as the case may be, but we'll get to that shortly. Let's kick things off with a rematch you do not want to miss. Your UWA Elite champion, Corey Dillinger. That just has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Well, after retaining the golden ticket at last breath, the Diligent One made the most of his opportunity, and in a bit of delicious irony, cashed in on then-champ BT Bull in the same way that Bull did to him a year prior, with Dillinger's challenge taking place after Bull had already fended off a challenger, in this case Matt Vertigo, in what we thought was the main event of Last Breath. But you know Nicholas K. Associates wouldn't just let that go. No, Nick K. himself confronted the new champ at James Gentile's album release party, calling Dillinger a low-level piece of crap for doing what K described as picking the bones of an exhausted BT Bull. After that argument reached its logical conclusion, another member of NKA chimed in. That member was the one Dillinger won the golden ticket briefcase from in the first place, 2023's Wrestler of the Year as voted on by you the fans, truly terrific Ty Thomas. Ty called out Dillinger for being what he called stuck in the past, still complaining about going from 3 titles to none. Yes, Dillinger defeated Ty at last breath, a match that I got to see very up close and personally, but there's a reason someone as hated as Thomas was still voted Wrestler of the Year, and that reason is talent. You don't go on winning streaks like Ty has without a bit of ability, and maybe a willingness to play outside the rules just a bit, in the first step of Nick K's contingency plan. Well, the new champ makes his first title defense at Setting the Standard when Diligent Corey Dillinger defends against Ty Thomas for the UWA Elite Championship. The golden ticket cash-in was not the only shock of last breath, not by a long shot. The undefeated streak of King Tech, 12 years of victory at last breath, came to an end when Flash Carter successfully defeated Tech's challenge for the I Championship, dropping Tech to 12-1 in the process. Now, if you thought the Fighting King would take that defeat gracefully, well, you didn't have to wait long to see just how wrong you were. Immediately after the match, Queen Heather literally whispered in Tech's ear, and Tech flat out brutalized Flash with a steel chair, beating Carter's back, shoulders, neck, and whatever other body part was available. Now, since then, Tech has stated that the Fighting King is dead, but has been reborn with a new purpose. He referred to himself as an emperor, ready to watch UWA burn to the ground. He invoked the gods of the squared circle, reminding us that he has fought in, against, and led armies in this company. Now, Flash responded, calling Tech a general without an army anymore. Flash described himself as not typically being vengeful, but Tech's attack was simply too much. Yes, the I Championship will be on the line, but it's no longer about the title or even the streak. It's about proving that Flash is now the man the UWA Elite Army want to see. And quite frankly, with a 3-year reign as most popular wrestler, that's a tough point to argue against. In a highly anticipated rematch, the newly reborn King Tech challenges for the UWA Elite I Championship against the newly incensed Flash Carter. There's 2 ways to approach being a UWA Elite title holder. One way is to curate your opponents, try to establish victories against certain people, and either keep or climb your way up the ladder. The other approach is being embraced by 2023's Newcomer of the Year, current and 2-time Ironman champion Bulldog Pittman. In a video you can watch right now on UWA Elite social media, Bulldog said that not only did he show 2 of UWA Elite's what he could do, but he's issuing an open challenge. Anyone who is truly tough enough can step up and challenge at setting the standard. Well, an unexpected challenger did in fact emerge. From sunny Orlando, the vacationing New York drip Matt Vertigo let us know that he's putting that rough year dealing with NKA behind him. He's leveling up, he's stepping up, and Bulldog's Ironman title is in his sights. Now this news came as a bit of a shock to Miles Thomas, the self-proclaimed greatest wrestler and only true Ironman in UWA Elite. After a rather interesting impression of Pittman, Thomas broke out with some admittedly impressive cardio before trying to claim his shot at the Ironman belt. And now that Vertigo has taken up that challenge, Miles is shut out and none too pleased about that. Whether we like it or not, Miles Thomas will be addressing the UWA Elite Army at setting the standard. And something else to mention here is that we haven't heard from the man who Bulldog defeated to regain the Ironman Championship, Eric Corvus. We've seen in his interaction with Bose at ringside last year that the mat mechanic isn't always the best at letting things go. But with a show of respect between Corvus and Pittman at the end of their last breath match, can Corvus move on, or will the temptation for victory and gold be too much to ignore? Nevertheless, at setting the standard, you will indeed see one-on-one the New York drip Matt Vertigo challenging Bulldog Pittman for the Ironman Championship title on March 23rd in South River. And now here's where things start to really get interesting. We talked briefly about Nick Kay's contingency plan for NKA, but that's only scratching the surface of some of the new look alliances we're starting to see as this season begins. First, let's talk about tag teams. More specifically, the tag team champions. They were runners-up for Tag Team of the Year in 2023, and Pretty Ugly are poised to show the rest of the roster that despite their somewhat accidental pairing, when the chips are down, their team intuition and almost paranormal psychic connection will continue to carry the fan favorites of Jay the Key Evans and explosive Eddie Thomas to continued victories, and if things go according to plan, title defenses. But first they will have to handle the rematch clause being pursued by the team they won those titles from in 2023's Match of the Year, the team who you the fans voted for as Tag Team of the Year, Eighth and Promise and Junie Underwood, the Lost Boys. In a promo that had an interesting twist I'll talk about in one moment, the Lost Boys let Pretty Ugly know that no matter how much they respect Evans and Thomas, it won't stop them from winning those tag titles back. At setting the standard, you will see the tag team titles on the line when challengers the Lost Boys take on the new champs, Pretty Ugly. So what about that twist that was mentioned in the Lost Boys video? Well, if you've been in attendance at UWA Elite events throughout the year in 2023, you've almost certainly seen and likely interacted with 2 young wrestlers who make quite an impact during Fair Week, as well as the Brawl for It All. These 2 are the well-educated degenerate Ryan Rise and the impeccable Miles Penn, better known collectively as the Restless, but more importantly, part of the Lost Boys family. They're looking to take the high-flying style of Promise and Underwood that UWA Elite fans have come to know and love, and show their own particular twist on it. But who will their first opponents be? Well, if you have a new young tag team making their debut at UWA Elite, then you know who will be chomping at the bit to quickly put them in their place at the bottom of the mountain. The standard bearer Chris Steeler and returning to his past brutal style Michael Massacre, the Just Us League have demanded and been granted that gatekeeper spot they've taken so well to. After an up-and-down season that had no small amount of controversy, they will be looking to re-establish themselves as a team to beat if you want to have any hope of survival on the UWA Elite roster. It is the Restless against the Just Us League in tag team action at Setting the Standard. The Old Guard, a team of 3 veterans of the UWA Elite roster. We saw the beginnings of this faction when TJ Blade and Chris Powers started talking, comparing ways they felt passed over by UWA Elite management. So it was no surprise when these two attacked Joey Adams following the anti-hero's victory over Powers at last breath, putting an exclamation point on their feud of the year. What we did not expect to see was the apparent save by Mike Seaway turning into an initiation, as the man who called himself the captain turned on Adams, becoming the 3rd member of the newly formed Old Guard in your 2023 most shocking moment of the year. An incensed Joey Adams issued a challenge to the entire team, saying that focusing on the newer, younger wrestlers that they felt were taking their spot was the wrong approach. They should be worried about the anti-hero and how he would be coming for revenge. Seaway wasted no time in accepting the challenge on behalf of the Old Guard, saying that now that Chris Powers has shown Blade and Seaway unity, there's nothing standing in their way to save UWA. And so in a grudge match stemming from last year's finale, March 23rd, you will see the Old Guard's Mike Seaway taking on the anti-hero, Joey Adams. Now, the man who is most responsible for the forming of the Old Guard, Hollywood stuntman Chris Powers, even doubled down in his message to the fans, management, and, well, everybody. He is setting his sights on one of the new members of the roster, one of the ones he is accusing of stealing spots on the card that should belong to the veterans, and that is Troy Locke. Powers conjured images of a shark in a feeding frenzy, saying the new guys, the new blood. Well, that blood is in the water now. He also mentioned something about knocking the mullet off of Locke's head. Well, Mr. Business in the front, murder in the back was a bit taken aback by that accusation, especially from someone the young Locke looked up to. Locke described the attack on Adams as gutless, saying that Powers showed his true colors, a lack of honor and respect. There was nothing more now than a ghost of wrestling past. It is a classic contest of youth versus experience, as the Old Guard founder Chris Powers looks to make an example of new fan favorite 2023's most improved wrestler, Troy Locke. And what about that 3rd member of the Old Guard? A newly refocused TJ Blade is embracing the message shared by Powers and Seaway and targeting the new wrestlers, the up-and-comers, as well. First on his list is the only man in the Golden Ticket match without a UWA Elite Championship reign. Yes, the Golden Ticket ladder match is making its return once again as the main event of Setting the Standard. The rules are the same. 6 wrestlers will compete in a ladder match, with the Golden Ticket briefcase suspended high above the ring. The first man to secure that briefcase will claim the Golden Ticket and have the opportunity to challenge for any UWA Elite title belt at any event this year. The man who won his way into this match at the Last Breath qualifier is who Blade was talking about, Jungle Jim Wilder. He reminded us in a recent video that not only is this the most star-studded Golden Ticket match in UWA Elite history, but since Blade was in that qualifying match back at Last Breath, he's not concerned about his chances for victory. So Blade and Wilder are in, and 2 additional entrants have some history to speak of as well. KTB and Robbie Roller had a year of all-out wars against each other, culminating in the Battle of the Barons that you can see on UWA Elite social media right now. We saw Roller, the man you voted as 2023's most hated, getting back to his roots following his defeat at the hands of the Beast, but KTB is never far from his mind. And if anyone expects to claim that Golden Ticket briefcase, they had better keep their eyes peeled for KTB as well. Now, Sean Damage McNellis has thrown his proverbial hat into the literal ring as well. Your 2023 Master of the Microphone reminded all of us that, much like virtually every other specialty match in UWA Elite history, he has climbed that ladder to claim victory before. And when the dust settles, he promises to have a few more championship options for his 2024. So that's 5. But who is the 6th entrant? Well, I alluded to Nicholas K. Associates a few times today, and specifically advisor Nick K., and what he has termed his contingency plan. With BT Bull taking some time off in Las Vegas to recuperate, K has promised that NKA will not be a man down. They are adding a head count to their payroll, as the terminology goes. But who is this mystery member, this junior partner of NKA? Someone we've seen before? Perhaps from Fair Week? Maybe from Brawl for It All? Could it be someone completely new to the UWA Elite ring? Well, that question, as well as several others, will be answered when the newest member of NKA makes his, or her, identity known when they enter the Golden Ticket ladder match with 5 other competitors and a whole lot of possibilities on the line. It's TJ Blade, KTB, Sean McNellis, Jim Wilder, Robbie Roller, and NKA's newest member, all vying for a shot at any title in Setting the Standard's main event, the Golden Ticket ladder match. Old feuds, new rivals, and a few surprises along the way. All that and more is coming your way at our 2024 premiere event, Setting the Standard. Mark your calendars, break out your ghost-busting best, and bring your clothing donations for Saturday, March 23rd. Doors open at 6 p.m., bell time is 6:30, and we will once again be at the UWA Elite Army Base at the South River VFW, 31 Reed Street in South River, New Jersey. Get your tickets at UWAElite.com, maybe even pick up a season pass while you're there. Follow us on all of the social media, and when you do, send out a congratulations message for the next inductee into the UWA Elite Hall of Fame. You can call him Wretched, you can call him John, you can call him, hey, big dude with the camera. But we just call him Bose. Until then, this is the man of 1,000 spreadsheets, MC Hale, saying I will see you at ringside.